I hear the parade route is planned. Auston Matthews has re-signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs. James Sharman, what a day it was yesterday.
What a lazy cliche. The old parade route.
Yeah.
Chestnut comes out.
Well, I heard there's going to be a parade this weekend because Matthews is going to be the grand marshal. He signed a 4-year extension worth $53 million, right? So, James, I talked about it the other day when the news broke was I didn't believe it when I saw Matthews' tweet because you never see in the NHL guys tweet out their own extensions, right? I thought it was a troll, with that whole Twitter blue thing. Now someone made a fake account and, got some shine because Matthews hasn't tweeted it out since March. And I was like, okay. And that was like an advertisement, right? So let me ask you, when you first saw the tweet or when you heard the news, did you believe it or what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I believed it. I mean, listen, Matthews is pretty good working his own brand, right? And this is part of a strategy, I'm sure. With that kind of money and where it stands in Maple Leaf lore, he's got to take on a different, more expanded role, I think. Be more visible even, right? And I think he's fine doing that. That's why he loves Toronto. Yeah. So I think that's why. So, yeah, I believed it. I was, as a blinkered, one-eyed Leaf fan, I was really happy with both the term and the money involved. I know people wanted the 8 years. To me, I like the short terms. This guy's going to be into his early 30s, right? 30, 31.
Exactly.
Time for a new deal. That's 5 years from now. There's a lot of hockey between now and then. A lot can happen. It's a brand new landscape by then. Reassess then. I don't like these 8-year deals in sport. I like shorter deals.
Well, exactly. I think the Leafs won because they got Matthews locked up. But also, I think he's the biggest winner, though, because he got exactly what he wanted. He wanted to reset the market, become the highest paid player in the league, which he did by NHL standards, a pretty sizable margin, about $600,000 more and change than Nathan MacKinnon. And now, like you mentioned, he's going to be back in the free agency pool at the age of 31, which then, if he really wanted to then and get some long-term security, he could go get a longer-term deal too then.
And we're seeing players now in their mid-30s like Sidney Crosby still playing great hockey.
Yes.
That's another massive deal coming his way at some point. And, I think also it really does bring him closer to Leaf Nation as well, right? He could have got more money.
Yes.
On the open market. He could have got 15, 16 million if he really pushed them, right? And they may have given it to him, certainly an 8-year deal. To get 13.25, I'm not going to call it a discount by any stretch. He's the highest paid player in the league.
Yeah.
But it's manageable from a cap standpoint. So I think he comes out looking really good. Brad Treliving has had almost a dream start to his life as Maple Leafs GM. Now, obviously, he's a big one on the horizon with William Nylander and then Mitch Marner, but he's signed some nice free agents. He's got the main man signed up now long term. He's got to be very happy with this business.
Hey, look, Brad Treliving has had a very good offseason. He came in, of course, remember the whole press conference and all of that. He came in, brought in Tyler Bertuzzi, Max Domi, John Klingberg, signs Auston Matthews. He's done a whole lot of things, right? And what I am now on, again, he's done his job, right? He's done his job.
Almost.
We'll see what happens with William Nylander. That's the other thing about that is, we'll touch on that in a second, is when I first saw that deal, after the Matthews shock and all of that, I saw the term, I'm like, okay, William Nylander's out of town now. You have to think so, right? You got a $13 million guy, two $11 million guys. You have to think Nylander's out of town now, don't you think?
It's hard to say, right? If you heard William Nylander speaking on the 32 Thoughts podcast, he seems pretty relaxed, pretty chilled right now. He wants to stay in Toronto, obviously.
Well, that was before the Matthews deal got announced.
Yeah, it was, but he must have known. They're close. They're tight. Okay. They're tight. I bet he knew that was happening. I kind of think there's more chance now of Nylander signing with the Leafs, and then you push everything to next summer with the Mitch Marner negotiation, and maybe he's the fall guy.
I just don't see a guy from Toronto, a guy who's grown up here in the GTA, in Mitch Marner, being the fall guy. I think it's the plausible one is William Nylander because he's already, on the fritz with a whole lot of fans. A lot of fans think he's flaky, this and that. He doesn't really turn it on when it matters the most. I think he's the one who's gone, right?
Yeah, but okay, so who's more overpaid? Is it William Nylander at $10 million? Right, which is what he wants reportedly. Or is it Mitch Marner?
Mitch is going to get 12.5 around there.
Is that more overpaid than Nylander at 10? From a long-term cap perspective, who are you better off?
I think they're both not feasible, right? Because if you saw, the Leafs have 3 players in the top 10 salaries in the NHL.
Yep.
They're the only team to have that, right? And it's gotten them nowhere, right?
2 years' time, John Tavares could come off the books.
That's 2 years though, right? So we don't know. And I think I get it. People are saying that there's another 4-year window. The window's kind of open another 4 years. I don't know. It's tough because we don't know what this team is going to look like in 2 years.
But we know
time.
the cap's going way up.
We do know that, but we don't know when it's going to go up.
Probably as of next season, like after this current season.
Again, that's what we've been hearing. Until I see the cap go up, I can't believe it. But I want to go back to Auston Matthews. This now, it puts a lot more pressure on him. He is now the highest paid player in the NHL. He has, he can't hide behind anybody anymore as the Toronto Maple Leafs. He is the face of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has to be. John Tavares might have the C on his jersey, but this team is Auston Matthews' team. I need to see him answer the bell when it matters the most. I need to see him step up when it comes to media. I need to see him be the ambassador of the Toronto Maple Leafs. He has to do that now because he has the contract. He got exactly what he wanted. He is the biggest star in probably the biggest hockey market in the world. I need to see more accountability. I need to see that leadership role step up because he's in his prime now, James.
Yep.
He needs to step up leadership-wise and make that extra sacrifice.
These are the years, right? These are the key years. You're going to see Matthews at his best the next 4 or 5 years, right? And so you should at 13.25. But I'm with you. He must step up. And I think he's comfortable to step up. He's happy to do that.
Yeah.
He wears the A already. Like I said, he's kind of a de facto C, I think. And depending what happens with Tavares in a couple of years' time, maybe he will have the C at some point. There's been talk about Tavares giving up the C to Matthews. I can't see that happening personally. I don't know why you would. But yeah, it's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But he's been the best player since he came into the league, I think, for the Leafs. And quite honestly, in the playoffs, he gets a bit of a bad rap.
He does.
He hasn't been that bad.
He hasn't. Now, we do forget, they, as a team collectively, and Matthews included, they didn't score anything against Florida in that series, which was the main reason. Also, Sergei Bobrovsky played really well. But, look, Matthews, we know what he can do in the regular season. He's proven. He's won an MVP. He scored 60 goals.
2 Richard trophies.
Yeah, 2 Richard trophies. But it's the playoffs that matter the most now. And when you look at the best players, the players that make the most amount of money, all of them have had more playoff success than him, right? All of them. And you cannot say, and the excuse that, he doesn't play on a good team, that's a bunch of crap because he has 2 other guys in the top 10 of salaries, right?
Yep.
And William Nylander, Morgan Riley. We know that it's time now, James.
No excuses.
It's time. Once again, Auston Matthews, it is time to show us and prove to us that you deserve this contract and that you are what the Maple Leafs expect you to be, the savior, and end the cup drought since when, James?
Oh, a long time ago, 1960s.
1967. But of course, we'll see. Maybe next there'll be a William Nylander trade or extension or something to come to the line. So make sure you keep it locked here to Homestand Sports for all things NHL and everything else in the world of sports.